Hi, I'm Jason Fowler with LeafFreak.com, and this is the Casa Magna Colorado Belicoso. It's a 6 1/4 stick. It comes in a 54 ring gauge. It's a Nicaraguan Puro, which simply means that the wrapper, binder, and filler all come from Nicaragua. Construction-wise, it looks like it's a double cap, I believe. Nice, beautiful, dark brown, oily wrapper with a lot of veins, but the veins are kind of this darker black almost that really sit well against that lighter brown wrapper. Looks really nice, very inviting as far as construction goes. Band is kind of cool, very detailed gold ornate band. Foot is packed really nice. The feel of the cigar is very tight, no soft spots. Traditional cedar and tobacco aroma. Some sweetness definitely that's coming through. So I'm looking forward to lighting this and giving you my take on it, and we'll check back in a few after we do that. Cedar and sweetness is predominantly what I'm tasting right now. A great draw. That's really nice. So far so good. We'll get into this a little bit further, and we'll check back in a few and let you know what we think. All right, we're about the 15-minute mark, and just thought I'd give an update. Draw has been absolutely fantastic. Smoke production has been just fine. Burn has not been razor sharp, but definitely not requiring any corrections on my part at all. Flavors have been, it's almost got this buttery quality to it. It's decent. Nothing that really leaps out at you as far as new flavors go. That's the only thing. A lot of times you smoke a lot of cigars, you're like, I'm looking for that unique flavor that I haven't had, and they're really good. Get me wrong, I love them. Just not anything that's going to jump out at you as something unique or new. There's not any perceptible spice at this point. That may change, of course, but right now I'm not getting any. But definitely some cedar and some sweetness and a little bit of earth in there. That's what I'm picking up anyway, and we're going to keep going, and we'll check back here in a few. All right, we're at about the half-hour mark here, and moving along pretty well. I wouldn't call it a slow burner. I don't know, that's my experience at least. The medium body is getting a little fuller, a little more robust. It's not anything that's gotten, I don't think, quite full yet, but it's getting closer to full. Smoke production is amped up here lately. I don't really know why that is, but it sure seems like it has. I've kind of had to fan a little bit here a couple times. It's got a great finish with a nice film. It sticks around for a good while. I don't know that I would call it a long finish, but it definitely lingers into that next puff. So that's been really nice. There's been some pepper start to kind of show up a little bit too, and that's good news for me. I like a little bit of pepper, and it's perfect. It's just this very subtle, faint pepper. You just kind of taste it on the back of your tongue and down the sides. It's nothing that's, overwhelming or slapping you in the face, anything like that at all. It's been really nice. Flavors have kind of melded into this like caramel, toasty sweetness. It's not terribly complex, I wouldn't call it that, but the complexity is still up in the air because it's definitely starting to transition a little bit from those earlier flavors that were maybe a little on the normal routine side. I don't want to call them bland because they're very prominent and they taste well and good, but we're getting into some different things here, and it's kind of livening things up a little bit. So we'll keep going, and we'll check back here in a few when we get into that final third. All right, we're going to give a little update here. We're about the 50-minute mark, and the cigar is kind of coming alive a little bit. Its body's increased and a lot more flavor Tons of thick, flavorful smoke. Almost that blue smoke that you see every once in a while that comes out. The ash just fell off in 2 good-sized chunks, 3 maybe, with some little ones in there in between, but not flaky at all, and performing really well. And on a side note, this is not the first one of these I've had. I've had a couple with minor burn issues, one being a little bit of tunneling on one stick I had, and the other one was just a wonky ash that had to be touched up a little bit. Nothing that was a deal breaker by any stretch. Flavors have kind of continued to change a little bit, and I get this sweet creamed coffee type flavors, and just an overall like toasted wood type flavors. That's what I'm picking up. Again, everything has been just above average, just nothing has leapt out at me as much as I would expect something that has been highly rated and touted by that one particular big magazine as it has. So we're almost getting down, you know, a little past the band and getting into the nub markets. Increased a little bit as far as warmth goes, but not anything to make me think it's going to have to be ended early. So we'll check back in a few. All right, we're about the hour mark, and it's warming up a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to put it down here pretty soon. Ash issue that crept up just at the very end, a little bit of wonkiness, not a deal breaker at all, not even anything that had to be touched up. It looks like it's sorting itself out actually by now. Transitions have stayed the same since the last update. No major improvements there, or major marks against it for that matter. It's a good performing stick that has some good flavors. If the flavors are in your wheelhouse, I would suggest giving it a shot. It's not something I'm going to tell you to run out and buy a box of. I'm a little surprised at the acclaim that it received from that certain huge publication, but that's not the first time I've done that, so I don't know. Till next time, I'm Jason Fowler with LeafFreak.com. Check out our Twitter page, check out our Facebook page, and hang around the website and take a look at some of the other reviews we have up. I appreciate it. Keep the hot end out, and I'll see you next time.